In the heart of Transylvania, amid the towering peaks and dense forests, lay the decrepit remains of an ancient castle, its dark history buried beneath layers of time. The legend of Count Dracula, the vampire lord, had long been a source of fascination and fear for those who dared to speak his name. The story began with a peculiar package that arrived on the doorstep of Alex, an intrepid paranormal investigator and a passionate enthusiast of folklore. Inside the package was a worn, leather-bound journal filled with cryptic notes, a map that led to an undisclosed location, and an old blood-stained letter. The sender was a long-lost relative who had disappeared mysteriously in Transylvania. The ominous letter hinted at a hidden truth concerning Dracula's return, a truth that begged to be unveiled. Despite the unsettling warning, Alex couldn't resist the call to adventure. He packed his bags and set forth on a journey into the heart of the Carpathian Mountains, where the castle loomed, casting a long shadow over the small village that nestled beneath its ominous presence. The villagers lived in perpetual fear of the castle and the darkness it represented. As Alex arrived in the village, he felt an unsettling sense of unease that seemed to hang in the air like a thick, oppressive fog. Superstitious locals spoke in hushed whispers of dark omens and ancient legends that had haunted the land for centuries. Some mentioned sightings of a headless horseman riding through the woods on moonless nights, and others spoke of strange disappearances and unexplained phenomena. As he delved into the local history, Alex found himself captivated by the stories of the vampire lord, the tales of Dracula's reign of terror. His unquenchable thirst for blood and his supernatural powers filled him with fascination and dread. The very air seemed to carry the weight of history, and he was drawn deeper into the darkness. His quest eventually led him to the mouth of a forbidding cave system that lay hidden beneath the village. It was a place where few dared to venture, a place where darkness and silence reigned supreme. With only a flickering lantern to guide him, Alex stepped into the abyss. As he ventured deeper into the caverns, he discovered an ancient crypt, hidden away from the world for centuries. It was a place of chilling silence and profound darkness. The air grew icy, and a sense of foreboding washed over him as he realized the crypt's significance. Unbeknownst to Alex, the crypt held a secret that had long been sealed. The investigator's intrusion had unwittingly disturbed the sanctity of Dracula's resting place. The vampire's malevolent spirit, long dormant, began to stir, and its influence seeped into the world once more. The atmosphere within the crypt grew colder with each passing night, and shadows danced on the walls as the ancient vampire's presence took hold. Unseen eyes watched from the darkness, as the balance between the living and the undead teetered on the edge of a knife. As the malevolent presence intensified, Alex found himself plagued by vivid nightmares and haunting hallucinations. His dreams were filled with scenes of darkness and despair, with the looming figure of Dracula ever present. He could feel the vampire's eyes upon him, a gaze that penetrated his very soul. He became a pawn in a malevolent game orchestrated by the ancient vampire, who sought to reclaim his dark powers and unleash terror upon the world once more. The investigator's sanity was tested as he grappled with the nightmarish visions that plagued his every waking moment. The climax of the story led to a terrifying showdown between the fearless investigator and the ancient vampire. It was a battle of wills, of ancient evil against the unyielding human spirit, and the outcome remained uncertain. The crypt's depths echoed with the chilling laughter of Dracula as he revealed himself in all his malevolent glory. The vampire's power was now fully unleashed, and the world once again felt the haunting presence of the vampire lord. But then, a twist emerged. As the final confrontation reached its peak, it became clear that Alex had a connection to the ancient vampire that he had never imagined. He bore a bloodline that linked him to Dracula himself. It was a revelation that shook him to his core, and it hinted at a deeper purpose for his presence in Transylvania. Dracula, in a moment of uncertainty, hesitated as he faced this unexpected connection. It was a hesitation that allowed Alex to act, using his newfound knowledge to turn the tide of the battle in a surprising way. With a desperate gambit, he managed to temporarily imprison Dracula's spirit within the crypt, sealing the entrance with ancient symbols and incantations. The story concluded with Alex, exhausted and shaken, standing before the crypt. Dracula's malevolent laughter echoed from within, but the vampire lord's power had been contained for the time being. The legacy of Dracula's resurgence remained etched in the annals of time, a testament to the enduring power of the vampire legend and the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of our world. And so, the tale of Dracula's awakening continued to haunt the present day. In the heart of Transylvania, the castle stood, its secrets buried in the shadows, waiting for the next adventurous soul to uncover the horrors of its dark past. The revelation of Alex's bloodline sent shivers down his spine. He was the descendant of Count Dracula. It was a lineage he had never known, a dark secret that had been hidden from him by his family. The implications of this connection were profound, and it struck at the core of his very identity. As Dracula hesitated in the face of this revelation, his malevolent laughter turned into a furious growl. He had long sought a successor, someone to inherit his dark legacy and continue his reign of terror. Now, it seemed that he had found that successor in Alex, a direct descendant of the vampire lord himself. The crypt, now a battleground of wills and bloodlines, trembled with the intensity of their confrontation. It became clear that the outcome of this battle would have far-reaching consequences. If Dracula were to prevail, his power would know no bounds. If Alex could harness his newfound connection to the vampire, he might have a chance to seal Dracula's dark spirit once and for all. As the struggle continued, Alex's mind was flooded with memories and knowledge that he had never possessed before. He could feel the weight of his bloodline, the memories of Dracula's countless victims, and the dark knowledge that had been passed down through the generations. Dracula, too, was locked in a battle within himself. His desire for power and immortality warred with his desire for a worthy heir. He had grown tired of the isolation and longed for someone to share in his eternal existence. The climax of the story reached a fever pitch as Alex, drawing on his newfound abilities and knowledge, managed to create a barrier of energy that encapsulated Dracula with a final incantation. He sealed the vampire's spirit within the crypt, trapping it in an eternal limbo. The crypt's entrance was sealed with ancient symbols and incantations, ensuring that Dracula's malevolence would remain contained. The world outside breathed a sigh of relief as the haunting presence of the vampire lord was vanquished once more. But the story did not end there. With Dracula's spirit locked away, the crypt's secrets began to reveal themselves. It contained a trove of forbidden knowledge and dark artifacts, some of which dated back to ancient times. Among them was a collection of scrolls that detailed the history of Dracula's bloodline and the origins of his dark powers. As Alex pored over the scrolls, he discovered that his bloodline had not always been one of darkness. There was a history of individuals who had harnessed the vampire's powers for good, using them to protect humanity from supernatural threats. It was a revelation that hinted at a greater purpose for Alex's connection to Dracula. The story concluded with Alex, now burdened with the responsibility of guarding the crypt and the knowledge it contained. He vowed to use his newfound abilities for the greater good, to protect the world from supernatural threats, and to ensure that Dracula's malevolence would never be unleashed again. In the heart of Transylvania, the castle stood, its secrets buried in the shadows, waiting for the next adventurous soul to uncover the horrors of its dark past. And in the heart of Alex, a newfound purpose had been awakened, one that would forever tie him to the legacy of Count Dracula. As the tale of Dracula's resurgence continued to echo through the annals of time, it served as a reminder that darkness and light were often intertwined, and that even the most malevolent of legacies could be harnessed for the forces of good.